caused a conformation or shape change of this molecule. And it's occurred right at the top of it, where number 3, and that's a prion-like domain. And what that means is that that area has the potential to cause prion diseases because prions are abnormally folded proteins.
Okay.
And I wish I could tell you that that was just a potential risk, but there's been 2 major animal models that have been done, not by the vaccine companies, mind you, but by other researchers, and they're published on the site. One is on what's called humanized mice, so mice that have been modified to have an ACE receptor so we can use them as a study model. And they were exposed to this virus with its spike protein. 95% of those mice died within 2 weeks. When the autopsies were done and the brains were looked at, the brains looked like sponges. They had these open spaces. And so in medicine and science, we call that spongiform encephalopathy because it's the brain. The brain looks like a sponge. What that produces is what is generally known as mad cow disease.
Mm-hmm.
So every one of these mice develop mad cow disease. They've done this in another animal model, rhesus macaques, which are a very close primate to us. So if you want to know what's going to happen to humans, this is a good way to do it. You expose these monkeys to the drug or the virus or whatever you're testing, and you look to see what the response is. And they sacrificed these animals at 5 to 6 weeks, and they did biopsies of their brain. And in their brain, they found inflammation, glial cells and other types of inflammatory cells, and they found something called Lewy bodies in the brains of these animals, where Lewy bodies is a prion disease that produces Alzheimer's. So we have 2 animal models, 2 very different but good animal models that have shown that when the animals' brains are exposed to this spike protein, which by the way we know is exquisitely designed to cross the blood-brain barrier, your final frontier protection of your brain, is easily crossed by these, not only these spike proteins, but the lipid nanoparticles that are used for the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine are very susceptible to being crossed by these lipid nanoparticles. So we've seen in 2 different animal models prion diseases that are mad cow disease or Alzheimer's that we're yet on the beginning of this. For example, the animal model at 2 weeks for the mice represents 1.5 years for humans.
Okay.